Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Angelica and this is the Unapologetic Me, where I choose to live unapologetically. Now, I'm going to be doing a couple full disclosures. So two things. One, I did this spread yesterday due to just a lot of technical difficulties. I ended up having to squash the entire video, but I really wanted to have this particular reading put out there, so I drew everything again. Like, all the things were easier for me to find because I took a picture of it, with one exception. For some reason, when I took the picture, I did not pull the angel numbers for these three. So these two I could remember, but this one I didn't. I couldn't remember for the life of me, so I had to actually redraw. And I know what I got from here was a different card, but I think it's, everything's done for a reason. So this spread right here, I ended up doing for my love life specifically. And that was only because some past readings that I'd done for myself this weekend, or my weekend, I should say. I did a bunch of past readings for myself, and I actually saw a bunch of past readings on YouTube, just the ones that just jumped into the algorithm. And everything that I kept seeing kept pointing to, like, oh, you're about to have like this like great like fairy tale like love story of a lifetime. It's just, there's so much hype. And I was just like, okay, I don't know if this is supposed to be resonating with me, or if I'm just like, I mean, who doesn't want to find love, So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a spread. Now, the spread that I ended up doing, so for these two people right here, these two in relationships, I actually know these two people. So I asked specifically about my interaction with them and how that's supposed to unfold. This one up here is a third party situation that I kept hearing on the algorithm saying, like, oh, someone's supposed to come into your life, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, just in case, I'm just going to do a thorough one over there. So this is how it kicked off. I started with this person right here. I wanted to know what the relationship between me and this person is supposed to be. Same question for here. And then I said about this third person, who is it and what am I supposed to get out of it? And these are the two that fell. And I did all of these were, I asked the question, but I did it based off of like the jumper method. None of these were actually specifically drawn by me. All right, so let's get into it. First thing I noticed with this entire spread out is guy number one, person number three, all their stuff is upside down. All their stuff is upside down. This person right here, I mean, Wheel of Fortune is one of the best cards you can get in the entire tarot deck. And then I was looking at this and I'm like, okay, it's the King of Cups. Cups tend to deal with like emotions and, relationships. So I was like, okay, cool. And then so when I pulled for myself, I wanted to know, okay, like, who was I going to choose is what I said over here. Who was I going to choose? And then it came up the Page of Cups. Usually in the Rider-Waite deck, the page is typically represented by men, but in most of the books that I've read, it said that it pretty much any of these particular characters could be men or women. It really could be a man or a woman, or it could just be the masculine, feminine energy. So when I pulled this, I was like, oh, interesting. Like, it's me. It's literally me, and I have like a cup in my hand as if I'm making a choice. And in the cup, I noticed that there's a fish here. There's a fish here, and then when I look across, the only one that has something in common with this is this one right here. Your King of Cups, he has not one but two fish, and then they both have the imagery behind it of like the water. Also, what I'm noticing is because like these two are upside down, and this one, I don't know who this person is, but I don't think this person is like meant for me at all. I just think that they're meant to be in my life for a season. Not really sure why. We're not facing the same way. These two, they're facing the same way, but because it's reversed, it's a whole different energy. And because of the symbolism between these two, not only is it they're both in the same house, but they both have fish in it. It's wild. So yeah. So I'm thinking this is supposed to be the person that I chose. Which is funny because I know this person. And if this is the person that I've supposedly chosen, then my next question was, well, what the hell is the holdup? Like, why? If I already know who I chose and this person is supposed to be the one that's meant for me, or that I believe that it's supposed to be like my match based off of the creator and everything that they put out. I was like, what's the hold up then? So then I drew these 3 cards down here for him. And so it looks like he's going through a lot. It looks like he's been through a lot. He's going on a journey, and then he's got to get to a certain place before all that can pop off. And then for me, this card right here is probably one of the saddest cards in the deck. Which I'll go into a little bit later. But because I ended up pulling it and I put it down here, I think this speaks more to my past, or at least my most recent past. So I think that might be why there's no interaction here yet. And then yeah, I ended up pulling this one after pulling these 3 because I saw what was going on with this one in particular, and then I saw that these 2 are already having their own ordeal. So I pulled this card with the question of, is there anything that I can do to help any of them? And I got like a resounding no. So I was like, okay, if I can't help them, what am I supposed to be focused on right now? And then I pulled these 2 right here. Now, all 3 of these go into 3 different decks. These down here, your more traditional illustrations, are from a nice little craft cards tarot deck. I ended up getting it off of, I want to say, the Magic of I website. It's actually really cool. They have a lot of really awesome things there. I highly suggest you go check it out. These 2 cards here came from the Lunar Tarot. I do like these because even though it still kind of ties in with the original illustrations of the Rider-Waite deck, it has an extra element of different moon phases of the moon, and then there's also different types of imagery in the back that bring its own little thing to the table. So then finally wrapping it up, at least for this spread, I ended up using Angel Numbers 2. I got this one this is my most recent deck, and I actually really do like this because I tend to see a lot of repeating numbers everywhere all the time. Like it's almost annoying because, and it was only annoying because I kept seeing it everywhere and I didn't know what they meant, and I would keep Googling and everything. And so finally I was like, you know what, I need something that like I can incorporate in my spreads. So that being said, Knight of Swords. I am going to utilize 2 books when I'm letting you guys know what I'm working on, only because I'm still new, and I do want you know, my viewers or my community to know that like all of this isn't really from me. I mean, tying them together, and I may introduce a couple things here and there, or a couple phrases here and there that I hear in my head as I'm putting these things together. But a lot of this comes from just the creator, and then a book that was written long before I came along to be interested in it. So yeah, so the first one is the Knight of Swords. So we're going to pull this person up, and I had already pre-tagged. Well, that's interesting. I don't think I pulled. Yeah, I don't think I did. I did everyone's. I did a pre-tab for everything on here except for that person. So that's fun. All right, give me a second. Oh, king, queen. Perfect. Okay. So it says for the Knight of Swords, and he is upside down. But I think I'm gonna put I don't know why I just touched almost immediately the camera, but I think I'm gonna drop a image of what the traditional card looks like as I'm reading about it up here, probably around now. So this is the Knight of Swords, and he's in reverse. I'm only gonna go with the reverse reading, and I'm only gonna read the love aspect unless something else like pulls, or unless something else pulls me to it. So this says the reverse knight lacks the intensity, drive, and confidence of the upright knight. When he appears in a reading, he suggests a lackadaisical attitude, indecision, confusion, or withholding information. If he represents an actual person, he may be a young man who doesn't say what he really means, who lives in his mind instead of the real world, or who's incapable of handling tasks before him. That's another reason why I wanted to go ahead and show these two books, because sometimes the wording, and I think it's necessary, but sometimes the wording can be a bit blunt, or some would even say harsh. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm ever like just coming for the jugular. Like, I'm usually just reading whatever I'm seeing in the book, and then I might have my own little thought process on the end. So yeah, it's saying that this person has, a lot of confused energy right now, indecision, withholding information. So there's a lot not being said. He's living in his mind, which means he's not living authentically. So that's issue number 1. So I'm going to be drinking water because my throat has been just out of sorts the last couple of weeks. Probably something to do with the throat chakra. I don't know. So it says, in a reading about love, the reverse knight suggests arguments, cutting words, or irresponsible behavior that may cause a rift in a relationship. This card can also indicate dishonesty. Perhaps one of you wants more freedom and rebels against commitment and structure. So, up till now, me and this person had been friends, and then in the not so distant past, I shot my shot, and although he was receptive to it, he did not want a long distance relationship, and so I respected that. So yeah, clearly this person is not meant for me. So I drew the angel numbers trying to figure out, okay, if this person's not for me and they're only in my life for a season, what is it that he's supposed to get out of our interaction? What is it I'm supposed to get out of our interaction? So for him, I got the angel number 3, 4, 5. At the top, it has personal power. Keywords are personal power, strength, change, reflection, empowerment, future, and creation. You have the personal power and strength to create the changes you desire in your life. Reflect on your current situation and identify areas of dissatisfaction. Your future is in your hands and depends on how you choose to shape it. So yeah, I think this person should actually start telling people their thoughts and start actually saying some of the things that he's saying inside out loud. I also have this other one here, and this one I actually did do a sticky note for him. So yeah. Hey, look at that, speeding up. So reverse key meanings is pushy and aggressive. And then it says, Your reverse is just as the reverse Knight of Swords in your reading points to the aggressive side of ambition, possibly including pushing yourself or others to extremes. There's a possibility you might run out of steam and feel disappointed by something that has started out strong and lost momentum. If this is true, take a step back and reflect and tune into your intuition. Look within yourself to find a way back to productive action. So yeah, that would be my advice to this person as well. Take a look at what their thoughts and their feelings about things are on the inside, and then don't be afraid to actually speak your mind or speak about your truth, your beliefs, your values. Excuse me. Confirmation bird. Yeah. Something about this person is withdrawn back. Maybe it's because they're afraid that if they do say something, people are gonna reject them. But at the same time, is even if you are keeping these things to yourself right now, and these people aren't quote unquote rejecting you, they don't know the actual you. So you don't even give them a chance to determine if they want to reject you or not. So that would be my advice here. The advice for me was 8585, gratitude. Said patience, gratitude, abundance, perspective, success, appreciation, ripple effect. Focus on gratitude shifts for perspective from what we lack to what we have and can achieve. This positive mindset attracts more positivity into our lives, creating a ripple effect of abundance and success. So instead of focusing on not being in a relationship with him, or I guess anyone else at that time, they wanted me to focus more on the things that I do have, the things that I am working on, and all of the positive things that are going to come from that. So the YouTube channel I have going on, the website that I'm working on, I got a bunch of things in the pot. Maybe you'll see it in a different video if I haven't talked about it already, but I have a lot of things going on. So yeah, I think it's just telling me that my focus should be more on what I have going on and not what I don't have going on with this person, which is fine. So because this seems a lot more complex and it seems like it's going to be awesome, there's an awesome element in it, I'm going to move over here to this nameless, faceless person. So immediately I'm seeing Page of Wands, and I'm seeing the Tower. The Tower cards usually show up whenever somebody is about to face a defining moment in their lives that is meant to transform them in some way, shape, or form. Hey, if you see something, this is my dog Pepper. She says hi. She likes to boop when she's not getting attention, so she's booping. She's booping. Hi, puppies. Now that I've acknowledged her presence, she's probably going to jump up and want to be more involved. But nay, I'm trying to wrap this up. I have a friend that I have to go see so we can go be goofy. So, Page of Wands, reverse. Let's get into that. See, I knew it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We'll hang out later. You're fine. No, ma'am. Grumbling. Oh, bless you. Grumbling. Hey, whoa. No, ma'am. I already got everything you needed taken care of before I started this video, so where in the world is the wands? Okay, got cups here. Pentacles. Swords. Ah, wands. All in the back. That was weird. Okay. So, Page of Wands, reversed. It just means the opposite of whatever energy this card is supposed to have. So the reverse key meanings is unreliability and hastiness. So it looks like he wants to do too much, or they want to do too much too soon, but they don't seem to be somebody that you can count on. Interesting. That just doesn't seem like somebody I would be hanging out with like that. Okay, so the reverse page of wands in your reading can indicate. I was learning a new word. The page of wands in your reading can indicate taking hasty, impulsive actions before having a proper plan in place. This leads to letting yourself and others down, giving you or someone else a reputation of unreliability. Everyone does this from time to time. Take only what you know you'll have the energy to complete. This may relate to a child in your life or someone acting childish, complaining about their responsibilities rather than addressing the task at hand. And the second one over here. Hopefully it'll take a shorter amount of time. Hey, it does. Awesome. So I am going to describe this person since I don't know who they are. I'm just going to describe what the card is supposed to be. It says the Page of Wands is a youthful figure, sometimes a boy, sometimes a girl. Older decks often show him or her in a Renaissance-style garb with short pants and stockings, but in contemporary decks, he or she may wear regular kids' clothing. The page goes by other names too, depending on the deck, including child, daughter, and apprentice. The collective tarot calls them seekers. In a reading, the Page of Wands may signify an actual person. If so, it's a spunky child or a young person who's full of curiosity and eager to learn. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that person is at all. Reverse, the Page of Wands represents a delay, a mix-up, or disappointment. Sometimes it says the time isn't right to start something, or that you're on the wrong track. If the card signifies a real person, it may mean he or she can't be trusted or isn't up to the task. Yeah, I don't know who this person is at all. I don't know if it's somebody from my past coming back, because I do know a couple of people from my past who can resonate with this energy, whether they want to or not. So, yeah, if this person comes into my life, chances are we might have the tower moment. Like, they may be coming in hot, expecting all sorts of things to just pop off for their very presence, but then based on the me that I am now and how I've evolved in the last, I'd say, year, they may not get the me that they're expecting to get, and so yeah, it might turn their world upside down. So let's look at the Tower. Tower is one of the major arcana. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I didn't bookmark his tower either. Interesting, but I found it. Okay, so it says Tower. I'm also going to throw that up here as well as I'm describing it, just so you can really get the symbolism of the different parts in there. The Tower, keywords are change, freedom, upsets, destruction of the old. The Tower usually depicts a fortress-like structure, similar to those remaining from medieval times in parts of Europe, being destroyed by fire or lightning. In some decks, including the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the tower's crown is being blown off by the fiery impact. The blast catapults the human figures out of the windows. Like the Death card and the Devil, the Tower tends to engender fear when it comes up in a reading. However, the Tower does not necessarily represent ruin and devastation. Although its appearance usually does herald swift and dramatic change, sometimes shocking and extremely upsetting change. Many people interpret the Tower as signifying a catastrophe, but whatever disruption or destruction it heralds, it's ultimately for the best. So, yeah, it looks like you're about to come into my life, probably expecting one thing, and because of my reaction, it's just going to turn your whole world upside down. I don't know what expectations you had for me, but if you're coming at me with this unreliable energy, it was already going to be a no for me, dog. Sorry. So that being said, since this is another short season over here, I pulled some angel cards I did what he's expected to get out of this, what I'm expected to get out of this. So for this one, it says angel number 55. It says be grateful. Gratitude, abundance, acceptance, positivity, contentment, reciprocity. Stop dwelling on problems you cannot solve or situations that bring you down. Embrace gratitude and reciprocity for what life offers, and you will align with your soul's desires. Okay, so sounds like you even coming at me at this point in your life with this energy is very indicative that you are not following your soul's purpose. Yeah, you're not following your soul's purpose, and I guess I'm the one who's supposed to, let you know about that. And yeah, I was a lot harsher about this reading over here yesterday, but that could be why I had so many technical difficulties, so that I can do this first one here, which is self-reflection. Self-reflection, 1155. Introspection, evaluation, clarity, self-awareness, energy, change, and growth. Take the time for self-reflection. Evaluate the areas in your life that drain your energy and decide what needs to change to restore your happiness. So, sorry, I'm eating Halls because my throat. Yeah. So this checks because yesterday when I was talking about this, I was getting so riled up because this person is just coming in, and based on his energy or based on their energy and based on the situation, it's just like, why are you wasting my time? Why are you wasting my time even coming my direction? Like, that's how I was just frustrated, and I realized that I was giving my energy to a person that I don't even know yet. I don't even know this person yet. So, like, why? So yeah, in the meantime, I ended up doing some reflection, and I just purely decided that when they stroll up into my life, I'm gonna say, hello, glad you came, good day, sir, or ma'am, and send them on their way. And don't let their situation and their hastiness seem like it's gotta rush me to come out of my place of peace. So there's that. Second one is 404, mind energy. Mind therapy, that's wild. Focus, determination, preparation, mental strength, clarity, resolve, future readiness. Prepare your mind for future challenges. Mental strength and focus will help you overcome obstacles with determination and hard work. Yeah, you're coming into my life, and I don't know if you're coming in too little too late, or if you're coming in, for the first time ever, with some energy. Either way, I want no part of it. Clearly, I have to get my mind and my energy ready for all of this over here, so I do not have time. Not today. Not today. So yeah, that's those two figured out. Now, for the main event. This person right here. Sir. Hello. So yeah, King of Cups. So because I know this person, I'm not surprised by the energy that they speak into for the King of Cups, but I do want to read the King of Cups out loud, just so you guys kind of get a feel of pretty much what my match sounds like, which is nice. Keywords are benevolence, culture, creativity, emotional warmth, protection. In many decks, the king sits on a throne and wears rich garments and a crown. He usually appears as a benevolent authority, a father figure who rules kindly and fairly. In a reading, the King of Cups may signify an actual person. When he does, it's generally a mature man who is cultured and knowledgeable in the arts. Upright. When the King of Cups is upright, he represents strong emotions and creative talent. If he represents a real person, it's someone who wants to be loved and admired. He may go to great lengths to gain your attention and affection. Although he's easily hurt, he may not show it and can hold a grudge. He can be rather indulgent and controlling, but his friends can count on his support and protection. I am going to keep that indulgent and controlling in the back of my mind, but I'm not going to let that be the forefront of all of this. And yeah, I'll just say that. I'm not going to let that be at the forefront. I'm just going to keep it in the back of my mind. As far as this not, not letting you know when he's been hurt and can hold a grudge, I can relate. For the longest time, that was me, which is probably why we're such a good match. But I hope that by the time he goes through this, he'll be where I'm at, where I am willing to admit when something has hurt my feelings, or if an action just seems like it was, if it hurt me in some way, shape, or form. So I'm hoping that this will help him be able to be on the same communication level. If not, I can work with him, but like, if most of the work is done before I get there, awesome. So there's that. And then I'm going to read the question about love. This card represents a deeply emotional, committed, and romantic relationship. It can suggest jealousy and possessiveness, however, or need for more trust and openness. I think that's fine. I think the only reason why there might be jealousy and possessiveness as it stands right now is because this person doesn't really know what my life looks like. They just see me coming and going, and so it's possible that they are like, oh, like, who's she going to see? Because they're so into me, they're just like, who's she going to see? Like, what you got going on? I'm telling you now, I don't be having squat going on. I mostly just stay home. I'm a homebody, and I am only coming out of like my little hermit cave to go hang out with one of my friends, and she's amazing, and it's not even anywhere like that. So you're safe. You're safe. There's nothing to be jealous about. The only being in this world that's probably going to want to demand more time than you would like to have is Pepper. So y'all can fight that out. So yeah, so that's him. And then the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to read about that. Where'd you go? There it is. Okay. So the first two, the keywords are cycles and change. And then upright. And this one, it says love, romance. This card signals a chance of fated meeting with a new romantic partner, though it can also symbolize completion of a cycle in your love life. Alternatively, you may be entering a new phase in a relationship that has existed for some time already. The Wheel of Fortune shows your luck may be changing in romance and possibly the wonderful new and the possibility of wonderful new experiences after a time of sadness. There's that. And then I'm going to do, I think there was one other little piece that I liked in this one. I don't think I'm going to read the entire thing, but I do want to kind of read one of the things. Where are you? Nope, that is a tower. That's not him. There we go. Wheel of Fortune. Awesome. Okay. So, one of the things that it does say about the Wheel of Fortune is like consciously or unconsciously, you've put something in motion and you now have little or no control over the outcome. A new phase in your life is beginning. An important decision must be made, or an upcoming circumstance will change your life. Destiny is at work and you have to accept whatever happens. All you can do is attune yourself to the forces operating now. Upright, it says a favorable outcome awaits you. Circumstances are changing for the better. Even if you aren't totally aware of what you've done to initiate the process, you started the ball rolling, or rather, the wheel turning. Don't resist. These changes will promote growth and bring valuable learning experiences for you. It can be hard to stay balanced, but go with the flow and trust the process. In a reading about love, a new romance may begin or existing relationship may improve. Even if you don't think you've done anything to make that happen, the time is right for this change. Enjoy it. So, yeah. We're about to get it popping, but like, but why the delay? So let's just see. Actually, The only one I'm going to look up is the Hierophant, because these two I know very well. This one right here, the Ten of Swords speaks to having gone through a major ordeal, to where you've just, you've gotten a lot taken from you, and you've taken almost all that you can take, and so you're almost ready to just give up, but not quite yet. It's not quite yet over. There's a silver lining that this is a time that is coming to an end, or has ended for you. That being said, there's this hope, this promise, or there's this chance of like a whole new journey. Where that journey is going to lead, you don't know, because this guy's just walking off a cliff. He's walking off a cliff, but he's pretty stoked about it. He's looking up, he's looking into the sun, and he's got a flower in his hand. So he's ready to vibe on this. And then he also has a dog that's over here, just kind of like being a little bit of intuition as far as like trying to warn him about the cliff. So I think what's happening here is part of the pause is that you went through something really painful recently, and you had to take time to deal with that, accept something, process something, and then begin to heal from that. And I mean, I don't know how quickly that was or what, but you rounded the corner of that, and now you are interested in this new journey. You're interested in this new journey, possibly the new journey with me, but something is holding you back. And so this card is telling you that you need to take a leap of faith. Whatever it is that's holding you back, you need to take a leap of faith and just see what shakes. Yeah, I have a feeling about why you're being held back. And because I'm not going to put our business out there like that, but yeah, I understand why you're being held back, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not going to go down the way that you fear that it's going to go down. Give her a shot. That's all I'm saying. It may surprise you. That being said, you also have this last one over here, which is the Hierophant or the Pope, and that one I am going to read. Pope. There he is. Okay, so upright teacher tradition. The Hierophant is an interpreter of sacred mysteries or esoteric principles. So this card evokes an ongoing quest for knowledge. Much like the High Priestess, the Hierophant is in near constant communication with the divine. The difference is that the High Priestess channels her knowledge through her intuition, while the Hierophant studies and learns by upholding traditions, participating in rituals, and teaching ancient knowledge to others. The Hierophant appears seated on a throne in traditional religious robes, busily sharing his spiritual teachings with the two figures seated before him. The religious iconography, good lord, just struggling with that one. The religious iconography, the keys, and his papal staff, hand position and crosses, to name a few, is symbolic of his purity and devotion to his spirituality. Having strong faith and a set of strict principles to live by, the Hierophant is happiest following a traditional course of study. So it wants you to take a leap of faith, and when you do that, trust that whatever you believe in, if you believe in God, whatever your spiritual source is, trust that this leap it's being orchestrated by them, and they're not just going to have you leap to fall and hit your face, not unless there's a lesson that you need to take out of it. But this, like the Wheel of Fortune, I don't think there's going to be a fall on your face moment here. So yeah, so there's that. And then I asked, can I help? And it said no. So, and it gave me this, and I think I actually even was able to do some reflecting on it over the last 12 to 24 hours since I did this reading initially, which probably makes sense as to why this wasn't supposed to get put out into the ether yet. And it was 4004 as I was saying that. But yeah, I think it was a reason. I was meant to learn this also a little bit more before putting this out there. Because it says on the Five of Cups, a figure stands in a black robe, indicative of mourning, his head bent in sorrow. Before him, 3 spilled cups suggest loss, heartbreak, and sadness. There's a river that separates him from the buildings and trees, representing physical isolation and distance. Behind the figure are 2 upright cups, as well as a partially obstructed bridge. If he could only turn around, he would see that all is not lost. Not only are there still cups standing, there's another way for him to get back to civilization. The journey may take a while, but he will get there. The Five of Cups asks you to acknowledge your feelings of sadness and disappointment. Go ahead and cry it out. Oh, so I didn't read this part yesterday, but considering that's exactly what I did, all right, tight. The grieving process takes time, but it will not last forever. The 2 standing cups will be full again as you make your way out of darkness and rediscover joy, connection, and satisfaction. Interesting. Satisfaction, the key word here. There's always a way out. And feelings of love and romance says feelings of disappointment or sadness may surface in your relationship. You may also be overwhelmed by feelings surrounding a breakup or loss of a relationship. Allow yourself a mourning period before reconnecting to love. There's always hope. So, I'm going to explain what happened to me over the last 12 hours, which is probably why none of the video wasn't allowed to be put out, because it needed to have this aspect to it. But yeah, there was some unresolved feelings about this interaction. Because I want to say like a month ago, like, I don't know why. I mean, I'd known this person for months already, but like last month, it was just insane. I could not get this person out of my head, because all I kept thinking about was this person. Up until then, we had more of like an acquaintanceship. So I was just like, why is this person in my head so much? So I did a spread. And the first spread was about me, or the first card was about me. The second question was about him. The third was about the connection, and the outcome was the last one. And so essentially what that spread ended up saying was, for me, I needed to focus more on my career. It told me that I was getting out of the Air Force. Lo and behold, I am. 332 days and counting. Super stoked about that. So it told me to focus on that. For him, it said that he had a couple things going on with him in his relationship section. Again, I ain't trying to tell his business like that. Just like I didn't tell the business of everybody else. So, but yeah, he had some relationship stuff that he needed to resolve. And the funny thing is, I didn't know anything about his relationship status before I did the read. It was only after I told him about it that I like got it confirmed. So weird setup. And I should have left it at that. Left it alone, let it be, let it simmer, think about itself. Because according to the creator, it gave me this one right here. Gave me the reverse Knight of Swords. And during that time, the message that I got out of that is I had to hold off on charging in and starting something up. I have to like take a beat, and if I don't take a beat, the outcome card, I can't remember what the card it was itself. I think I have it in a notebook somewhere, but I don't think I have my notebook near me, and it's not that deep because I already got the message. But if I do end up figuring out what it is, I'll throw it up here. But yeah, the outcome to that card was that if I didn't hold my horses, almost literally, I was gonna scare him away. And did I listen? No. I mean, here's the thing. How many people would listen when they finally find the person that they feel like they're supposed to be with? And it's not even like their thought process on it. It's something that you feel on like a very spiritual, surreal level. Like, I don't know a single person who, once they know the person that they're meant to be with and where it's coming from, that wouldn't immediately want to run straight to that person. So while I understand my hastiness, I can't blame anybody but myself for what the outcome was. Yeah, the outcome was that not only did he was receptive to what I was saying, but he said that he had a lot going on, and because of that, he decided that he just wanted to remain friends. But the crazy thing is, and this is something that I didn't want to see, I didn't want to focus on, I wasn't facing until yesterday. But not only did I not get that connection that I was hoping for, we actually fell off communication wise over the last month, to where we became less than friends and more of acquaintances, or people who just said, what's up in passing. So it was almost like I did lose that connection, which sucks, because that's the person I feel like I'm supposed to be with, and I'm so close to that person, but yet I can't do anything about it. So yeah, it really sucked. It really sucked, and I, out of respect for what his decision was, I just was like, fine, I'm just gonna shove those emotions deep down, and I started focusing on getting out of the military. I started focusing on all these things that I want to do with a different career going forward. And so that's where you got these two. This is where my focus has been on. It's been on, I had satisfaction, the happiness of getting out, of finally getting out. I can't wait. The first thing I'm going to do when I get out is dye my hair, and it's going to be fire, or at least I hope so. And then the second thing, this is the King of Wands reversed, but it has leadership, and I think this has to do with me speaking out more. I'm someone who's usually 100% fine with being alone and being by myself, but the universe has decided that no, I don't care what you're comfortable with. I have work for you to do. I have things I need to pass on to people, and I can't pass it on to them through you if you won't leave the house, or if you won't make yourself available to interact with other people. So it was kind of like that scene from Holes, where I was just like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. He's like, that's too damn bad. So yeah, I just started focusing on that, and it wasn't until recently, while I was focusing on that, I was getting a ton of videos in my algorithm out of the blue. When I say most recently, I'm saying within the last 48 hours. It has not been a long time. But yeah, it was just it was a bunch of you have this great love story that's about to begin. You're on the edge of it, or this person can't get you out of their head. They've just been thinking about you constantly, but they don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to talk to you about the situation. They are afraid for some reason, way, shape, or form. So yeah, but they're trying to build the courage to get over the fear of whatever is holding them back to actually talk to me. Now, while that sounds freaking amazing, I'm not allowed to do nothing, remember? So I not only am I not allowed to do nothing, I was putting emotional time out. I needed to face the emotions of what actually had occurred here. And now that I've faced them, perhaps we're almost ready. I don't know how long it'll be into the future for this person to actually come and say something to me, but hopefully that they do, take that leap of faith. I believe that now that he's dealt with the situations that he had back here, he's willing to take a leap of faith, or he wants to take a leap of faith and share, I guess, whatever feelings he's realized about me. But the concern, what's holding him back, is the fact that I had already come to him pretty much with cup and heart in my hand and handed it to him, and he was like, that's very nice, but I can't have your cup right now. And so I think he believes that because I came to him and I was very vulnerable and it did not turn out the way that I wanted to, he's afraid to do the same. He's afraid to come to me completely vulnerable for the risk of being turned away because he turned me away first. That's what I believe, at least based off of what I'm seeing here. And no, I'm sorry, that's just not the case. It really isn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, it stung, but I don't blame you in that situation. I blame me. I acted too quickly. The Creator told me to slow down and I didn't listen. So that whole situation is a lot more on me. And what sucked is, and I did some journaling about this, what sucked is I knew your situation that you had going on over here. You told me the situations that you had going on over here. But I was so focused on the fact that the Creator told me that you were meant for me that I was just like, kill that noise. I'm not trying to hear about these two people. Like, why do you care about these two people over here when you got me? And the crazy thing is I was so focused on, it was two-pronged. I was so focused on me being the better option, or me thinking that I was the better option, that I wasn't paying attention to like the turmoil that this was causing in him at the present time. Like the two things that little lint ball, the two things that he had been dealing with over here was causing a lot of turmoil, and I understand why. And again, I'm not going to go into detail because that ain't your business. But it rightfully so makes sense that he was in turmoil about it, and I should have slowed down, and I should have been more empathetic and compassionate about what he was going through, instead of just trying to hit the gas and throw another whole person into the pot when he hadn't resolved this. Secondly, it's also my fault for hitting the gas because, and I've been reading the Bible a lot, and one of the most recent lessons that had come across was Abraham sacrificing his son, or being willing to sacrifice his son because God wanted him to. And it was, from what I read out of the Bible and the way that I interpreted it, is God knew that he loved his son so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, he really loved his other son. He doesn't really come into this story right now, but he really loved his other son. But that other son was no longer around, and it was just this son. So he was pouring all of his love into the one that remained. And so it was a test for Abraham to test on whether or not what did he love more? Did he love the gift of his son, or did he love the giver of the Creator who gave him his son in the first place? And I think in this situation, I loved the gift of this person coming into my life and all the things that could entail, more than I was focused on listening to and loving the Creator that brought this person into my life in the first place. So it's not surprising that I touched the hot stove and I got burnt. That being said, I've learned, and I feel like this video is a lot faster than it was yesterday, so the thoughts and everything are coming to me much clearer. But at the same time, there's been no technical difficulties, so I really think that this time the Creator believes that I got the message, and I'm continuing to do nothing. I don't know if you probably won't ever see this video in like the next, I don't know what. If you see this video, it won't be because it pops up on your algorithm because it's brand new, but eventually eventually I might tell you about this video. I might tell you about this video just so you can see that, like, I knew the turmoil that you were going through, and then the turmoil that you started going through about this situation, and I couldn't do anything because I didn't. It's because I believe that the two of us are actually soulmates. And I know a lot of women say that. They're like, oh my God, this person's my soulmate, yada yada yada. I don't say that shit. That's not me. I never I never really said that before about anyone, ever. I've thought possibly, but no, I've never like been confident about it. But I am here. And I think one of the things that was our soul's contract, at least in this lifetime, was the fact that we both had to be willing to be as emotionally vulnerable as possible and risk the rejection. Risk the rejection, but care more about the other person than the rejection, that we were willing to essentially step into the fire. And I believe that once that happens, at least between the two of us, it will lead to spiritual growth. I also ended up drawing, like I said earlier, I drew 3 cards. 2 of them were I was able to find again in the deck. The third one, I couldn't even remember the number, let alone the message tied to it. So this one is new. The first one here that was tied to this was 3232, and it's take charge, empowerment, initiative, leadership, self-determination, boldness, improvement. Take control of your life and steer towards your desired outcomes. Embrace the shortness of life by pursuing actions that enhance your well-being and contribute to personal growth. So it's pretty much telling you that, hey, you've done all you could do about these 2 situations, and it's time for you to, like, you know, move on. The angels supported your decision to move on here. And they don't want you to, and I'm not just saying this because, you know, I got a thing for you. I'm saying it because they believe that you're not meant to look back. You're not meant to look back on either of these 2 relationships because you've already gotten what you needed out of that. You already learned the lessons you're meant to learn. For the Fool, the one that's going on a journey, the one with the leap of faith, it says ask for help. 7722. And it says support, guidance. Yeah, ask for help, support, guidance, connection, vulnerability, community, trust. Remember, no one succeeds alone. It's okay to seek guidance and support. Embrace the strength found in community, and don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. Interesting. It's interesting that it also lists vulnerability in this. And the crazy thing is, like, 3232. My birthday is 23. And it's right there in the middle. I just realized that. It's 23 is right there in the middle. So I think that's a very interesting turn of events there. And the last card that was not here yesterday, but is here now, and is, I think, appropriately attached to the Hierophant, is Awakening 7-7, which is wild because, boom, it ties into your previous one. So yeah, I guess it was meant for me not to remember that last one. Awakening, enlightenment, breakthroughs, success, epiphanies, spiritual growth, transformation. You are undergoing a profound spiritual awakening that will lead you toward a path of success, epiphanies, breakthroughs in all aspects of your life. In what areas of my life am I experiencing spiritual growth? And how can I harness this awakening to achieve success and breakthroughs? So yeah, that is pretty much everything. Pretty much the, kit and caboodle of it. So I am about to wrap this up. I'm gonna go hang out with my friend and probably read Reddit stories. Again, her channel is D-Exiety. It is DE.XIETY. I'm gonna throw hers on here as well. Highly recommend you go check out her channel and see what kind of shenanigans we get into, because when we get together, it's the whole vibe goes through the roof. So yeah, that's it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Till then, be yourself unapologetically. Bye.